Stars University every single Monrovia Labour at 205 final project presented to Mr. Emmanuel S. Blama, submitted by Saint Black Jr. date June 8, 2025. We'll be discussing on the topic CSS Boss model and Flex Boss versus Gray. What is CSS Boss model? CSS Boss model is defined as an element that are size, position, and rendered on a web page. 2. What is Flexboard and Gray? Flexboard is generally preferred for a one-dimension layout, while Gray is the idea for more complex two-dimension layout. Here we get back to CSS Boss model. Some key components of CSS Boss model are the content area, the padding area, the border area, and the margin area. What is the content area? The content area is the central part of the CSS Boss model containing the main content. 2. What is the padding area? The padding area is the space between the content and the border of an element. 3. The border area. The border area are the mark at the end of an element that is the outer fencing of the element. 4. Margin area. Margin area are the area outside of the border of an element. We go to Flex Boss and Gray. I get the two axles of the Flex Boss. We get two main axles of the Flex Boss, and here is it: the main axles and the cross axle. What is the main axle? The main axle is defined by the flex direction property, and the cross axle run perpendicular to it. Here are some relationship and use cases between Flex Boss and Gray. Flex Boss and Gray can be used together. For example, you can use the Flex Boss to control the alignment of each item within a Gray continuum. We get back to the CSS Gray. CSS Gray have some sculpture. So here is it: a two-dimension layout. We get a two-dimension layout, which enable creating layout in both row and columns, or two dimensions. Secondly, we get a layout first design. The layout first design provides full control over the layout, including dividing gray row and columns tracks. Accurate placement. We get the accurate placement. The accurate placement is a gray that can be used for accurately placing content in a layout. We get the key properties of a gray. Here are some key properties of a gray. We get a gray template columns, we get a gray template rod, we get a gray gaps, and we get a gray columns. Then we get to the Flex Boss. Get a key properties of a Flex Boss. We get a Flex Boss direction, we get a justifying content, the align item, the align content, or we call it the continuum property, and the flex. Thirdly, we'll be looking at some example of a CSS model boss and Flex Boss and Gray. So here is it: colon gap property. What is the colon gap property? The colon gap property specifies the gap between the column and in a gray. For example, specify a 50 pixel gap between the column in the gray. Here is it. So we'll be talking about the gray items. A gray continuum contains one or more gray items. By default, a continuum has one gray item for each column in each row, but you can style the gray item so that they will span multiple columns or rows. Here we get to the gray column start and a gray colon end property. What is a gray colon start and what is a gray colon end property? The gray colon start property specify where to start the gray adding, and the gray colon end property specify where to end a gray adding. For example, place the gray adding at colon line number 1 and let it end on colon line number 3. Here is it.